So, hi everyone. Really excited about today's session. We have a very special, inspiring person with us today, Naveera. And like in the past, like 1, 2 years, we've often heard questions, right? That um, career gaps, low CGPA, difficulties, handling other things, so many problems. And the fundamental question is, will I be able to switch my career? Will I be able to get a job? And I don't think today I need to say anything. Today we have Naviraa, and as all of you have already seen on the scene in the posts, that she's a single mom with not 1, 2, 3, but 8 years of career gap. And she'll be sharing her journey of how she cracked a front end role and what an amazing journey she's had. Um, so, yeah, the stage is yours, Naveera. Why don't you first start by introducing yourself?
Myself, Naviraa. I was working as an ATL in charge. So I am an electrical engineer by graduate. So where I had to teach robotics to kids. So initially, I started learning coding because all of my teammates were electrical engineers, and we had to do something with the coding there. So I was referring YouTube videos, but I'm so poor at coding that I could get none of them. That is why I joined Sharpener initially. So I don't know what magic they made. I wonder the coding I make today. So yeah, now I've joined as React.js developer in a company, Appen Technologies in Madhapur, Hyderabad. I'm glad I'm here. Thank you all. Thank you, mentors.
The people are pretty excited. I've not seen in the past so many congratulations right before the starting of the session. To a certain extent, Google Meet is also hanging. uh, so, how was like your initial phase? Like you have had a long, you had a long time since you started. Like you graduated and like now you're getting a job. So how has that been
Yeah.
like?
Being a young graduate, I was not that ambitious. I didn't know the goal of life for that. So I was doing odd jobs, multiple jobs. So I was working as a teacher. Then my father wanted to join me in a company. So, and the best part is, I have never attended the interview for anything. I'm also not that confident to do so. So I worked in a school as a math teacher initially for 2 years, which the principal is very known to me. So I was working there. Then my father recommended me to the company. I'm not that confident enough. I'll tell Sharpnet what me that confidence to. So, and then I was again preparing for my government exams. I cracked one and it was in the north, and I did not want to, I didn't take it too seriously at that time. So, and then I was working after marriage, I was working as a robotics trainer. So that is how I came into Sharpnet. The need for coding there took me into Sharpnet. Yeah, that's
Awesome. I think so. Leaving a government job, I think so. That was a. I think a lot of people dream about that. So you did not even think once of joining that. It's like
Yeah,
free
because
money.
it was in Rajasthan, like people was like no to Rajasthan. No. Uh, like, okay, I was also not that much into my career. No, my career is important. I have to do this. No, so I left it like that.
How did that change right now? How did that change right now? I mean, how did it suddenly
Yeah,
become
my
so serious on this?
situation obviously changes. Yeah, I was really badly in need of this, but after that, when I wanted to get into this field so seriously, I had to go through a lot. Like, my career gap obviously matters for everyone, right? So I tried through many recommendations, HRs and my cousins who were in the field. So all my recommendations and even my internships through recommendations were rejected because of my career gap. So yeah, that's how my past was. And
That must have also like the problem must have kept on increasing as and when the career gap increased in the initial
yeah,
years.
yeah. And so it's 8 years, right? I know not more than 2 years. They are not going to take maximum of 3 years in some companies, and 8 years is just rejected like this in a second. It didn't take time to get rejected. Yeah.
So, your first experience into IT, you said like when was the first time you wrote a code, like Hello World or something, whatever was your first code? When did you start it?
That was only after I joined Sharpener. Like, so I still remember my first practicals in college. So where I have to write a code for greatest among three numbers. And the examiner took the paper, found 20 errors and threw the paper. Like that was my coding experience and my coding knowledge. So I still wonder how I write coding. I can't even get one line of it. That I still couldn't get that. How you did that? So I'm still wondering.
Yeah. From the time like an examiner throwing out your paper with the greatest of three numbers, now you're a React.js developer. It has been a pretty
not
long.
not just being the React.js developer. While getting into the stacks only, I'll be wondering how did I get arrays? How did I get to know objects?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
Everything.
one topic at a time.
Yeah,
Like that's even we have structured it that way. Like
yeah.
of
The
course, if
structure
you
tells
doing
me.
short projects,
How I
okay.
got it is what I still wonder. Really, did I get that? Really, did I get to do that? I still wonder.
And then you look at your offer letter and yeah, I got it.
So,
So you're
uh,
saying, yeah, yes.
so I just think, Naviraa, like, can you give us a little background to yourself? Like, as in, you've done Triple E, right? Like you. So you're from a non-IT background, okay?
Yeah.
So, guys, I think most of the Sharpenerians who join us, right? Like, they are from a non-CSE, non-IT background itself. So, one thing which I get from each and every Sharpenerian is ki, bhaiya, how will I code? Like, coding is so scary. So, were you also scared of coding, as in, like, when you started off your journey? Like, what was the initial phase like?
How will I not be? I've told you my coding skills before joining Sharpener. Like in the meetings, I attended meetings only to know this answer. Will I be able to get coding? So I've never asked Vaibhav sir directly, but people constantly kept asking him, "Will I get coding?" And Vaibhav sir never told you can. He told you will. That was that was very motivating. Like, okay,
Nice.
I to hear that one word, I'll attend the meeting. Yeah, you will. Yeah, I too will one day.
So, Navina, like, just out of curiosity, I want to know, like, you never spoken to Vaibhav that way, like, as in, but you just attended a session and, like, and you
Yeah,
got into it.
many had the same curiosity as mine. They were like, I couldn't get stacks, I couldn't get recursion, I couldn't get backtracking like that. But I was like, I couldn't get coding even. How will I do it? He's like, you will. Chalo, he'll not tell anything other than that. You will not get to know later. Just move on. That was very motivating. You need not say like you will do it, you can do it, you need not structure it. This you will was really great to hear at that time. Okay, sometimes I'll move it.
But then, like Naviraa over there, like there were a lot of phases you would have seen, right? Where like you would not be able to figure out the particular code of a particular question or something, right? Let's say if you're not understanding a topic, how you used
Yeah.
to tackle that?
See, I would say I would have been the slowest person to learn the coding. So it's like you'll get it by the way when you sit on keep on improvising your logics and you'll get it. I'll say. It's not that you'll not get it. I'm while learning web development also. Already I would have sat for 2 days trying to solve an issue and I'll be done with it. And I'll go back to Yasser in the meeting and that meeting was per day we'll have one meeting now. So I have to wait for that meeting, and I'll go to him, and we'll be like, he'll say some clue, and he'll say try it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, so
We'll
that's
try.
what I
But we'll get it. That clue will guide us to one way, but that helped a lot, that we can learn on our own, because nobody is going to help you in your company like, kid, you can do this, you can do this. They'll just give a hint at the max. So you gave us the confidence that we can do it on ourselves. You guided us, you did not teach us, I would say. You guided us the best way. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is what I keep doing this, okay? And like students ask me a doubt, okay? Like normally in my WhatsApp, I keep getting doubts one after the other, okay? And normally what I do now, I don't reply to them, okay? I reply to them after 3-4 hours, okay? And by like after 4 hours or so, when I look at the doubt, na, that doubt is gone. Like students
Yeah.
have figured it out. So because in general, like what we personally believe in is coding is something which like cannot be taught. Okay, like it's more like the student has to struggle with the problem, because in the end, guys, like I kind of keep getting this key like, yeah, I'm learning, I'm doing Java, I'm doing Python. Why are we? And then in the end, we are doing JavaScript. Okay, like, but why are we doing this? Okay, like why are we not doing only JavaScript? So I just tell them, see, guys, you are not going to become a JavaScript developer or something like a Java developer in the end. Okay, you're going to become a problem solver. Okay, that's what the mindset should be. Like if I give you a problem, no matter what language you code in, okay, if I give you a problem, you will be able to solve it. So that's the end goal which I want all my students to reach. Okay,
Yeah.
so like that
I think
is important.
also a lot
But,
of people, they just
but you should think of those days that we were in. It was really like, oh my god, still I have to try on this again. But that was really helpful. When we go on researching, we learn 3 more things rather than that one thing we wanted. So that was really helpful.
yeah. Also, like a lot of people who have joined us today, they might be completely new. So when you talk about React.js and web development, and it might be going above their head.
Okay.
So once going back to your initial stage wherein you just started coding, let's talk first with data structures, because that's how you started. So your experience learning with web in those sessions. So how did you start approaching problems from in the initial stage, and how did they gradually change ahead? So when you were not an experienced coder, and then when you started completing arrays, oops, etc.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
That's what I still wonder. I'm saying, like, I kept practicing, that is fine, but how did even I'm a computer science student from 11th standard, and the 11th and 12th I took computer science. They taught us C, C++, everything, and I've learned Java in my third year. I've learned fundamentals of computer C in my first year. Nothing got into my head. I don't know how the structure got into my head only, but practice and the structure, that makes you. But keep trying now, trying to solve your. And the lead code, I never known that platform, but that helped me a lot to improve. I did.
Correct.
I
So
think
there are a lot of people who tells me the same or who asks me the same question, that I am like 50% confident in arrays, right? How will I become 100% confident, right? Or like I'm not able to figure out the logics, or I'm not able to figure out how to write the code. Okay, so there is only one thing which I could tell them is like, just practice, just keep on practicing, right? And that is how you will become better, right? The more you practice, the better you will keep on becoming. Okay, and that is the only secret. Right? There is no medicine which I can give them that okay, you will have it once or twice a day and then you'll become good. Okay, just practice is what will make you better. Right? With more and more questions that you have to feed yourself with, right? And that is how you'll keep on becoming better. So yeah.
So,
So Naviraa, tell me what were the difficult parts in data structure,
yeah,
like where you got stuck a lot, okay, and like how did you like resolve all those errors and like whatever the issue that you were having with yourself, right? And how did you keep yourself up so that you kept on doing it?
keep myself up is by meeting only. Whenever I feel low, I come to the meeting. I'm sure that at least 4 will ask the question like, will I be able to code in every meeting? So and I'll get you will, and that's what. But arrays was too high for me because uh, for like coding is already allergic to me, and arrays was too high for me. I could not get the in anything from the start. Alpha omega of arrays is nothing. I got nothing, but I had to struggle with arrays initially, and then I felt even recursion. But backtracking again, I was finding a little bit difficult, and yeah, that is all. You have to get that one spark, right? When you reach that, you'll get it after that. So still that we might be difficult.
Correct. And that is what I've also seen, right? Like the maximum number of people, they start getting stuck in the first half of beta access, and the next half, they automatically know like what is the process to learn like any topic whatsoever, right? Okay. So they actually become aware of how to grasp in any topic, whether be it backtracking, whether be it recursion, whether be it any topic, they are able to grasp it, right? So they know that there is no secret angel, there is no secret medicine, right? It's just hard work, right? Okay, and continuously understanding the topic, with that only they'll be able to solve more and more questions. So yeah. So how was your web development phase like, Naviraa? Right?
Web development was better. That didn't take like silly mistakes only. We'll sit for more hours, but we'll sure learn many things from them. But web development was quite it went quite good. So I got used to this coding. I was no more that frightened of coding. So that went well for me.
Yeah, I also feel the same. As in, like I tell ki Vaibhav, your job is the most difficult. Yeah. Once you've done your job well, taught DSA properly to the student, my job gets very easy. Yeah. As in, like it's a piece of cake then, right? Because yeah, guys, like in the end, like once you understand the fundamentals of data structures, right? You can do anything. Okay, like you can learn any tech stack. You can do like you start questioning everything. That curiosity kind of develops in you. So once that curiosity develops, you'll grasp each and everything. Okay. So that's why I always tell my students ki do DSA properly. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything new that you learn, that's the thing. Like the initial part is most difficult. I mean, even when we look at our numbers at Sharpener, like DSA, you'll find like 3 out of 4 people being very serious, 70-75%. But once people irritate Vaibhav enough and he's able to still motivate them, after that, like 90-95% at least people are like, sticking around with this. Yeah, that is definitely true. Oh, by the way, for you, Naviraa, you said that you were one of the slowest learners at Sharpener, apparently. I do not agree with that. But then again, how long did you take with your journey? Like, if you can break it down, DSA, kickstarting web
I
development.
took 4 months for DSA, like 4 months for DSA, guys, and like 1 month for web development initial stage, and the front end it took 1 to 1.5 months. That's it.
So around 6 months.
Yeah.
It took you. Yeah. So you have an example in front of you. DSA taking the maximum amount of time.
Sure. Yeah, and I think Naviraa, like guys, like definitely people take different amount of time. Okay, Naviraa took 6 months, so it's not necessary that you would take 6 months only. Okay, you can take 8 months also, and there could be times that you can take 4 months also. Like we've seen on average 4 to 5 months people finish the entire structure. Okay, so yeah, like it all depends upon how much effort you're putting. Also, and I think Naviraa definitely like was coding as well as she was taking care of her child as well. Okay, and how old is it? Your son, Naviraa?
My son is like 2.5 now. Like
Okay.
he was nearly 2 that time. So he started moving around. He started knowing his mom. He wanted my attention most, so he never let me alone. That was the difficult part for me to handle.
So how did you manage like on a day-to-day basis? How many hours were you able to give? When were you able to code? Because taking care of a kid, like it's morning, evening, night, full-time job itself.
Yeah. Like I'll be able to code when he sleeps, when he is concentrating on something else. So I'll not get one continuous 1 hour to work on. That's for sure. But children take snap every hours. Like so, I'll use those snap timings, and the time he's concentrating on something else very seriously, I'll use those timings. But
Fair enough, Naviraa. I think really inspirational. I think so. Like you took out. See, it's more like either like it's about your priorities. Yeah. Like I feel I see people like telling me कि भैया time नहीं मिल रहा है. This is the issue. That is the issue. But it's more about like what is your priority. That's what I asked them. कि आपका priority क्या है? मतलब what is your priority over here? And I think for you, the number one priority was obviously like your child and then also coding. Yeah, like these were your two main priorities, I think so.
I had to give him importance to, and I had to concentrate on my career too, because though there were very good reviews in the internet, I'll still have a doubt. Everyone will still have a doubt because my career gap and my rejections in the past were no less. So like so too many rejections. Like I just wanted to gain some experience, so I was ready to work even for free as an intern. But my career gap had a big wall in between. So,
Yeah, but like we also keep getting this question. I think so. Career gap. Like there are students, trust me, like who tell me कि भैया I only have 1 year or 2 years of career gap. I'm like कि don't worry, like we'll take care of you. Like there are students who tell me कि sir, should I get an experience letter printed from someone, pay them or something, fake experience letter. I'm like
they'll
don't,
get assured today.
there's no requirement because like these experience letter you'll get the experience letter, but when the actual interviewer asks you कि what did you do, what will you tell them? So,
And I actually keep on getting this query, right? So yesterday also, like I was getting someone who was asking me, should I put a fake experience? Like I am having 1 year career gap. I'm like 1 year career gap is nothing. We have gotten people placed with more than 10 years, 7 years of career gap, right? So you don't have to be worried, right? Be truthful to yourself, right? Getting something, doing something which you have not done, and that will also uh, get your confidence low, right? When you start your first job, right, they'll be expecting that you should be having some knowledge on that particular tech stack, right? And even if that is a very easy task, you will feel that okay, this requires some sort of experience, right? So that is what you should not do, right? Okay, doing an internship is different, right? You can take some, let's say probably we can give you an internship letter or something, but then that is also not required. Okay, you can take, like if you are needing a job of let's say whatever X amount, right? If you can get without any of those things, then why do you think that you need a internship letter or a experience letter, right?
I see a lot of questions on the same line. So in case some of you guys missed it, she is placed in app incubator. And regarding her package, we cannot disclose the exact package. Recently, like some of the last sessions, people were mentioning a lot about like companies were saying, why have you disclosed the package? And we were asked to also pull down the video, but we edited
So
obviously.
one of our best videos we had to pull down, okay, because that video got circulated inside the company itself, and the HR called us and then they told us you have to remove this video. So
yeah, but we promised here, like it's not like she's gotten a 8, 9, 10 lakh package. It's the base level around 5 that we promise. Exact, obviously, not promise. But anyways, our intention was that to share with you Navira's inspiring journey, and moreover to launch her career into the coding sphere. I think that is the biggest barrier right now. I think like right now in Discord, for example, we have around 8,000, 9,000 people. And I'm pretty sure the first thing that everyone checks as soon as they join is messaging someone or the other that I have a gap. And how do we handle that? But yeah, Naviraa, once again, kudos to how you have battled things. One thing I'm very curious to understand is how did you manage your projects? Because projects is something that you have to stay with it and constantly iterate through mock interviews, through reviews. So how did you work your projects through?
Projects, like after DSC, I did not find it much hard to work with React. I could initially for JavaScript I had to struggle because I did not know. I started with Java. I was like, what is going on here and what is, because coding itself is completely a new topic to me. I struggled only with JavaScript, but after JavaScript and web development was not that difficult for me. I'll say I could get that. We gained the confidence once we finished DSA itself, like, and we gained that courage to continue. Yeah, and yes, sir guided the very best. He like,
Thank you.
you can learn, you will do it on your own, and trust me, he'll not explain even one thing. He'll just say you'll try it on your own, and you will. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the trick that Yash has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm just supporting you guys. Like
Yeah,
I just
sure.
keep telling you, okay, yeah, try this. I think it would happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that hint gives us one path to move on, or else we'll be having a hell a lot of fun. Either should I go into this way or this way or this way, and you'll guide us through one way, and we can just dive into it and get out of it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, Naviraa, like in a way, the time that you took for your data structures, because a lot of people initially they rush through the data structures, copy answers from the net, and during time of placements, if we catch them, then we like and tell them to repeat it, and they'll not be happy about it. So, in a way, the time, the 3-4 months that you spent with data structures, it helped you build your fundamentals better. Like, were you completely clear at the end of the 4 months with your data structures?
Yeah, data structures was, and the practice sessions also we were doing. When I was going through the practice sessions, I could do really better compared to when I was doing the projects. So in 4 months we can't be the star, but still we could see the improvement in ourselves, right? The time taken to solve the problems, newer problems, like that. I could see the improvement and things getting easier.
Yeah, like data structure is like a never-ending sea. Like if you ask me, like, is data structure complete for me? I'll also say, okay, no, I have a lot to learn still. So yeah, it's a never-ending skill. I'll say, but yeah, just like understanding the fundamentals helps a lot. I'll say, yeah. So definitely. So Naviraa, I think so. Now coming to one of the most favorite questions of all the Sharpener, like how many interviews did you get, Naviraa, in total?
Yeah, see, I cleared my 6th interview from Sharpener. So, yeah.
So yeah, total of 6 interviews. Yeah, getting you. So Naviraa, like, tell me one thing, Naviraa. What was the AppScript's interview phase like? As in, like how was the interview like? As in, how were the questions and how did you go about answering them as well?
So, like,
Just to give everyone a perspective.
yeah, for some interviews, when I disclosed my, when I said my education gap, so they were like, oh no, this gap is not going to work out. So I got rejected in the first place. But the other interviews, we need training for the interviews. We were not going to get cleared in the first interview itself. So I had very less confidence. Uh, yeah. It was like coding questions and all that. Everything interview questions are mostly from the Sharpener's interview questions. So we'll not have to much prepare everything. We have to know everything. And even when they asked coding questions, it was not too difficult for us. It was like, oh, this question is fine, and it went well. Nothing.
Awesome.
Got it. And that is like, did they discuss about your projects and those things? What kind of questions did they ask on that line?
Yeah, all the interviewers were interested in the projects you have done. Like, what are the projects you have done? How did you do that? In what all you know? Like, see, you already train us through all those, but still, the presence of mind and the confidence level we have also matters. So at that time, we couldn't present all what we have done in the correct way. That also mattered in the interview in one or two. So yeah, I'll say.
Got it. Also, your interview, like you said that a couple of companies were not okay with your career gap, and that is understandable. Some companies have a very strict criteria. Um, but I think a lot of people who, like, at least the companies that you did clear, you went to the HR round or the later interview rounds. Like, did they also ask about the career gap? How did you, or how did you prepare to tackle in case they asked it? Because a lot of people would want to know that.
I couldn't get you, sir.
I'm asking that how did you basically answer people about your gap, the career gap?
The career gap, like, I told them actually, see, people don't see career gap like they wanted to know the career gap because are you really interested in this field? Or you just want money from this field? I guess only so from the interviews I've attended. So when I told what I went through and how I came into the field, like some accepted, some were still not okay with it. It all depends. They'll teach you how to tackle all those questions.
Fair
And
enough.
that's when
I
you
think
said that we I
Huh?
have the skills. So you can ask me. That's when you said like I have the skills, so ask me on the skills.
Right. So mostly over here, what happens, right? Like we first of all, we also inform the company about this career gap, right? So whenever they are interviewing her or him, so they know that okay, that this person has a career gap, right? And that is the reason why they are interviewing him. Okay, but then they will have this curiosity or like intrigueness to know what was the reason of that career gap, right? So they will ask, right? And mostly the reasons are genuine, right? Like say if someone is working somewhere or he might have had a business or there has to be a reason why he or she did not do a job and landed up with a X amount of career gap, right? And just go with your genuinity, right? Okay, just try to reiterate, try to think that what was the reason, right? It can be family issue, family pressure, right? Whatever, right? And the other person is also a human being, right? So they will understand. So that is what we tell all the folks, right? Okay, you don't have to make something up, right? It's just that tell something, right? And they already know that this person has a career gap. So they will automatically, like say, Naviraa, I think so out of 6 interviews that you gave, right? All of them, like they conducted that interview, right? And like everything happened very smoothly,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Naviraa?
yes, sir.
So yeah,
yeah, I think so. I think the skill set is what speaks out volumes,
correct.
right? Like if you have the skill set, no one can stop you. Because in the end, age doesn't matter. The work matters, right? Like if you can deliver the work, doesn't matter. Like you have career gap, if you have whatever problems, like in the end, people want their work to be done, right? That's what founders and everyone wants in general, right?
Also
So
importantly, yes, I think like Naveera, maybe you can answer. Does it matter at all in your current job, like in terms of your day-to-day work? Does that hold an impact, a career gap, once you're selected?
No, it does not. They'll not know until I say, and it did not. It did not matter. The career gap did not matter at all. I'll say the skill sets are far better compared to experienced ones. I'll say so that worked. So just yesterday I had where a 3 year experienced one was confused with some logic, and I had to tell him what happened. It happens.
So yeah,
true. I
also,
think the main thing which I've also seen, right, in a lot of experienced folks, right, they don't understand JavaScript. That's the main problem. They'll either code in Java or some other language before, and they'll jump directly to React.js. So they don't even understand how to write DOM JavaScript or DOM manipulation. They don't understand that well. So that's when, like, we normally tell whenever we're talking to founders or any HR person, okay, we tell them you try a Sharpenerian. They can easily take 1.5 year experience folks place. Okay, they can easily tackle those type of people. So that's the confidence we have in Sharpenerians, moreover, and that's how we portray it to most of the like HRs or founders whenever we are telling them to try a Sharpenerian. Yeah.
Yeah, also the
When I
idea is
was
prepare Naviraa and people like Naviraa like for their first job very well, so that like later on, that's the role of a mentor, right? To preparing you for your first proper launch, and
yeah,
after that, you can of course grow in your career. How's your current job like, by the way? How are you liking it? What's the role like?
like I've joined as a junior developer, but I'll say I'm in the best place right now. So in 2 months, I've learned a lot of things from this company, and when we get through some others code, also, no, I was already working in 2 projects now. So initially, to test me, they've given me like React 3 Fiber I had to work on. So I made a project in that. It was like I did not find difficult is much in those. So I did that. Then I made a landing page, and it's with. So I found it hard when I in the CSS part. So they wanted every pixel to be correct. So that was the thing I was struggling with. But the logics, or I could solve it very easily. So, and the other thing is that when we get to the code of some experienced people, we get to know a lot how they're handling the codes the best way. So this company is teaching me a lot, and in a short span, I'll say.
Awesome, awesome. So I think we'll ask 2 more questions to Naviraa, and then we'll open up. There are a lot of questions which everyone wants to ask, so we'll open this up for everyone to ask questions. So guys, you can raise your hand one by one, and we'll take each and every question of yours. Okay. So I think we have this one cliche question. Is that what was your favorite moment with Sharpener?
My favorite moment was Sharpener. Like, I enjoyed every moment, I'll say. Like, because every day I was seeing a better of myself. So that was, I was wondering every day only, and I was enjoying. And that mock interviews, I really wondered the way mock interviews were held. Because I had to attend 3 mock interviews after my after my completion of this, because I was very underconfident. Like, I did not have that much confidence. So everybody gave the same feedback for me after the interview, because my confidence level was very less. So, but the friendliness and the way they teach things makes us comfortable with interviews, I'll say. So I've never attended an interview before this. So it made me really comfortable, and I'm really very, like, I'm frightened to get into the interview. I had that fear of interview, but this mock interviews taught me much. Like, they were friendly and they were teaching at the same time. It gave me confidence to attend interviews, that they are also humans. Fine. Yeah,
Nice.
that is good.
So after your placements, you gave a total of like after you were marked as ready to place for your final grooming, you had 3 interviews. You're saying, right?
Yeah, mock interviews I had.
Yeah.
Okay. I think a lot of people like they think interviews are just intended to code and like, but that you can always do it through tests, right? So, like for anyone who is for the first time like attending these interviews or practicing with interviews, like what should be a student's approach? Like how to take the most out of the interview? What would you suggest?
I'll say bring in courage to yourself, because when we get into the fear only, we forget most of the things. We already know things, what the interviewer needs. We already have most of, I'll say, a knowledge ahead of what they want. But we lose only where we fail to portray them to them, to show them that we know this. So courage is one tool that we can use the best here. Self-confidence, have confidence in yourself because you know everything what they want
Mm-hmm.
and what more than what they want. So that's
I kind of remember this dialogue from Three Idiots. Okay, he said. So they say
what
this
is
like.
that?
So they say that like fool your heart. Okay, like fool your brain. Okay, your brain is always like scared. Ki ye ho jayega. This can happen. That can happen. Okay, but just fool it. Ki nothing is going to happen. Okay, like just go there and say ki, like if they ask you how much would you rate yourself, always rate yourself 4.5 out of 5. Okay, let them make their job difficult. Okay, be confident. Okay, because I've got to interviews. Okay, like my CSS in general is like not that strong in general. Okay, but I know okay, they'll ask you these like bunch of 5 to 10 questions which are there. Okay, like they'll not ask anything beyond that. Okay, and so like they'll ask me how much will you rate yourself in CSS. I'll always say 4.5, 4.75 out of 5. So they're like, oh, so confident, and then they'll ask the same question which is always there. So yeah, so guys, it's more like see these guys would ask you a question. Okay, if you rate yourself lesser, okay, so if you rate yourself 3.5, they'll not even ask you the question, they'll assume you're bad. Okay, so just always rate yourself high. Okay, and take the gamble. Okay, take the question. If you're able to answer the question, if you know the question from before, and if you're able to answer, then they'll assume you're 4.75 out of 5 itself. Okay, but if you rate yourself low at that time, then that's the time you're making the interviewer's life easy. Okay, so
Correct. Even if you are able to answer the question, right? Okay, whatever I ask you, they'll feel that there might be something that he is not confident in, right? That is the reason why he has rated himself low. So that is the aspect which you don't want to happen. So always be confident, right? Always be. That is the first game that you should be, right? And interviewers will ask you this, right? Because they want to understand like say like there are so many things right from which they can ask you. So they want to understand which what all things you are very confident in, and from there they'll ask you, right? Okay, and now they'll also do the same thing for someone else, right? Now how will they compare two folks? Right? They'll do the same thing, right? Now if the other person is basically able to like has rated himself 4.5 and you have rated yourself 3.5 and have both have answered the same set of questions, the other person will get selected because they feel right. It's a human tendency. They'll feel that okay, this person has been rated because of some reason, right? So that is the thing.
Cool.
There are a
Okay.
lot of aspects which you'll understand in mock interviews, right? Yeah, this is just one of the aspects. And then plus one thing which is very important is like that confidence, right? When you actually explain things, right? Okay, interviews is not just being able to solve a question or coming to the right answer. It's also about how well you are explaining things, whether the other person is able to understand or not. That's an interaction between two people, right? If the other person is not being able to understand the correct solution also, that means you will not make it to the final round, right? Or you will not go to the next round. Okay? Because the purpose of this interview is that.
fair enough.
All
I
right.
think so.
Yes,
Yeah.
before we start the queue, I think like most of the questions in chat we answered. People were asking a lot about the package and her job. As we discussed, like package we cannot disclose the exact one. It's not a super dream package of 8, 9, 10, but good enough to start a career. It's around 5 LPA. Your job location, Naviraa, what is that?
It's Madhapur near Hyderabad.
Yeah, Hyderabad. Got it. And yeah, I think that covers pretty much all the questions over here. People calling me super mom, that's really sweet. Uh,
Good.
all right, I think like yes, are we any other questions we will ask or should we open it?
Yeah, I think so. Last thing, I think which we should. I wanted to ask Naveera. Now, Naveera, do you have any suggestions for people who are just starting to code? Like anything which you've learned, like any secrets or tips which you want the fellow Sharpenerians to also know about?
Just keep working now. Don't lose the confidence and don't keep on thinking what will be the. Don't keep on thinking about the placement in the beginning. Just put your hard work in the beginning. You will be placed. You need not like that. Confusions need not consume your time. Like when I was also working and moving to web development, there were many people asking to me like will we be placed? I could not get stacks. Will we? You will. That is what they're saying, right? And they're doing it too. So you need not have that confusions that only consumes your time. I'll say only that. And you can put your hard work on that instead of thinking about this.
So there are people asking Naviraa, how much time did it take you? Once you completed the journey, right? That took you 6 months. After that, how much time did it take you to complete and get the first job?
To get the first job, yeah. During December, I completed by December. So during December, the phase was less, but I placed in January. I was placed in January.
Correct. I remember, right? I was in Goa that time when I got that news that you have gotten a job. So, yes.
Yeah,
And one day before, I
was
got a call
so
from you
happy I
that,
couldn't share my happiness.
correct. Yes,
I
yes.
also remember like when Naviraa got placed. I was not obviously in direct touch with Naviraa, but Yash was, and she sent Yash a message, which was really sweet, talking about like how he helped and all that, and Yash shared it. And yeah, then we were like, okay, Naviraa has to have a session with us. This is really inspirational. Uh, that was really
Like
nice.
lot of us here, like what is your package? So I would tell that everybody around me wanted that package. Like even HRs couldn't get me placed. So I had that much background. So
Definitely,
that's
everyone has
you
their own.
do your best
Right.
version of yourself.
Yeah, I think once you're the best version, no one can stop you. That is
Yeah.
what it's all about. Yeah. Okay, I think a lot of people have been waiting, so we'll take up questions. Guys, you can raise your hand one by one, and we'll take each and every one of your questions. Okay, Praveen, you can go first. Praveen.
Hi, Naviraa.
Hi,
Congratulations, first of all.
thank you.
So, actually, I was always worried about that I don't have much time to code and that. But after listening your story, you just motivated me, and now I'm also feeling very good. So,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, whenever you felt down or you felt a little bit confused, how you going to do it? So, what did you do at that time?
See, we all have that confusion, right? That's what I told. Whenever I feel so low, I go attend the meeting to get the confidence. So to boost myself up. So that's not that I'll say that everybody surely can. So if from my point of view, see in your position, you can't really accept what I say because I was in that same position not to accept what they say when they told I can. But you will see only in the end what you will become. Like
Yes.
so
Thank you.
you
Thank you so
you
much.
there is no need to get low here. I'll say you are in the safest place.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I think Poonam, you can go next. Poonam.
Hello. Hi, Naviraa.
Hi, Kunal.
Congratulations, Naviraa.
Thank you.
Naviraa, as of you, I am also a mother of 2 kids and I am having a 9 years of gap. I
Yeah,
am 2013 BTech IT pass out.
IT pass. I didn't have that background either.
Yeah, so my basic concepts are clear. Means right now, I have started my career with Sharpener in the month of February, and
Okay.
till now I am still on bit manipulation.
Mhm.
So I'm having some doubt that will I able to cope up with the things or not? Will I able to complete the course during the timeline or not? So I want some motivational from your side that will I be able to do or not?
You're still ahead of me, I'll say. I was too slow. Trust me. See, I think I would have stayed in RA till for 3 months. So
Oh,
it's not an issue at all.
okay. So it means your thing means keep doing doing the things on time or on with motivation, and I can do. Is it?
Sorry.
I means according to you that means I should continue work from my side and definitely I will means complete the
Your
thing.
hard work will surely pay you. And
Okay, okay. Naviraa, can you please tell me what means in which year you completed your graduation?
2014.
2014. Okay,
Which
okay.
major you're asking?
Sorry, graduation year
2014.
2014. Okay, all right. Okay, okay. I have sent a request to you over the LinkedIn and please connect me. I'll definitely keep in touch with you.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Naviraa. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Okay, Krishna.
Also,
Yeah.
a lot of people have a lot of people get stuck in different parts. Like for some people, arrays can be the most biggest blocking part. Some people it's bit manipulation. Some people once they start trees or non-linear data structures difficult. I think in chats also I read people who cleared arrays at one go. They must be laughing right now. So people have different stages when they get stuck, and that's what will make you a better coder, right? Fighting that thing through. Because in life, no matter how good a coder you are, you will get stuck at one problem, and that is okay. It's that is the time when people will judge you if you can fight it through and identify the solution. Some solutions will take more than just half an hour or 1 hour. It might take a day. It might take 2 days, especially in your career. So you need to be really resilient and you need to be really having a fighter spirit. And yeah, Naviraa has that obviously.
I got
Nobody
it from here, I guess.
Also, I think Costume now, I think so. So Costume guys is a product manager. He basically he's not a software developer. Okay, so he keeps complaining to the software developers, "Ki, why don't you finish your work on time?" So I think now like Costume also knows the answer because we kind of get stuck with problems. We also don't know how much time it will take.
So that had happened like my first year of my career. I was interning. I did a job also as a software as an Android developer. But I quickly switched because like the product managers were bugging me too much. Like finish it fast, finish it fast. And I thought that's what I want. I want to bug people. So yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
I
Next
think,
one.
yeah. Krishnamurthy, you can go next, yeah?
Yes, ma'am. Hi, ma'am.
Hi,
Yes, ma'am. First of all, congratulations for you.
thank you.
Okay, you say that you are coding in Java while learning DSA, and after that only you switch to JavaScript. I'm also same like that. I'm also coding in DSA, Java and DSA. So right now I'm in web development part. So I'm facing lots of difficulties because in JavaScript we have to learn that asyncs, awaits, and the inheritance part that called prototype. Some extra concepts are available in JavaScript. So it makes JavaScript very hard for me. So can you give me some tips to learn JavaScript?
What I
Is it
personally
necessary
felt,
to sorry, ma'am, is it necessary to we have to learn deeply JavaScript?
yeah, JavaScript plays a major role. You have to know JavaScript better. But what I felt is to switch from Java to JavaScript, it looked more difficult. But JavaScript is actually not that difficult comparatively, I thought.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, and then
Because in switching, we feel like what is going on here? This was completely different in Java. We are doing something else. And in the initial phase, it was like that. Then it was like, oh my God, JavaScript gives us everything in hand. Fine. That is JavaScript is good.
And moreover is like you know like JavaScript, okay? JavaScript kind of like when JavaScript was launched, okay? So why is it called JavaScript? Okay, because Java was very famous at that point of time. Okay, so the makers of JavaScript, they thought that they'll use Java as the name so that people would get confused and they'll start using JavaScript. Okay, like so that people would get confused between Java and JavaScript and they might choose JavaScript. Okay, so in general, guys, it's more like there are a lot of things which like even in Java, like most what normally happens in this community, right? People copy from each other. Okay, so whatever is good from JavaScript, it has been copied in Java. Whatever is good in Python has been copied like, so this community keeps on copying and improving so that none of them become irrelevant. Okay, the day they stop copying from each other and learning, okay, and obviously innovation is also there, but they keep copying. It's like more like, what should I say, like it's like Apple versus Samsung versus like that, something like that is only happening over here. Okay, so in a way, async, you were asking, right? Async is also there in Java. Okay,
Yes.
they've copied it. So everything is almost like something or the other is always being copied here and there. Uh, so I think once you understand it in JavaScript, you'll also understand it when you do Java Spring Boot, maybe in the future, you'll utilize it over there as well.
And
Yeah.
that is the beauty
Okay, sir.
of like staying in tech, right? It's like, see, there will be some projects like in the same company which you will be working on an X language, and there will come projects which will be on Y language, right? And you will see that the transitioning from X to Y will hardly take you 3 to 4 days, right? Because everything, the logical part is everything is same. There's the syntax part changes. Okay. I know over here, like initially, like when you don't know both X and Y, that mindset of you switching from X to Y will be very difficult, right? Because you are in that constant fear that it will take me a lot of time to learn that X language. X language is itself very difficult. Now I have to learn again Y. But actually, the transitioning is not difficult, right? So let's say if you have chosen Java, you will feel that Java is difficult. And now I have to again learn JavaScript. It's not like that. It's just a transition which happens. Everything remains the same, right? It's just the syntax which changes, and it will hardly take you 3 to 4 days, right? That is why you will see a lot of memes on social media or like a lot of places where you will see that Stack Overflow is the only masya which software developers have, right? So
Yes, sir.
the reason is also because of this, right? You know that okay, this thing exists in one language, it will also exist in some other language. You just type it out, right? And you will see the syntax.
Okay,
And
sir.
obviously, Stack Overflow will not give you results directly, right? You have to type something and then only you'll get the result. How do you know what to type? Because you know that something exists in some other language, it will also exist in that language. Okay? And within few days, right? Like it has happened with me. Like now I can say my previous organization, I left my company yesterday, right? So yeah, basically, like initially I had to start from Python, right? Like, I was a Java guy, right? Throughout college life, I was Java guy. The first day I come into this company, Python was told that I will be getting a project on Python. And after 6 months, they told me JavaScript, right? And I was like, why is this constant shift, right? Like I'm just getting comfortable in one language and now they are telling me to move to other, right? So it's not a difficult thing. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Another question is, ma'am, why do you choose front end either go for back end?
So if I have to say the truth, that back end is difficult compared to front end. Back end needs more.
Okay, ma'am. That's something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But guys, it's a myth. Okay, everything is good. Okay, back end is also very good. Front end is also very good.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, sir. Yeah.
Next week, probably we have to get a back end folks, right?
And next thing I add is a VLAN.
We have seen this transitioning where, let's say, when there is a person who comes and tells about back end or front end, there are a lot of people who start opting for that particular framework, right? And then in order to distribute the load equally, right, then we have to get some back end, because then back end or like whatever the different was there, right? Because both of them have equal demand, both of them are equally what same as a complexity wise, right? Nothing is different, right? It's just that you have to ask yourself that question, that what is the thing that you want to learn initially, right? It can be back end, it can be front end, whatever it is. Okay, it should come from you within. Okay, and the thing is, like, as and when you progress in your career, right? It's like you will also keep on learning the later part also, right? Let's say if you're choosing back end right now, you will learn front end after that, right? Within some time, because you will have to interact with a lot of front end folks in order to get your job done, right? So right now, Naviraa might have started with front end, but in some time she will again come back to Sharpener, and we will teach her back end, and then we'll get her a better job, right? So that is how things will work. Right? The more knowledge you have, the better job you will get. So it's all
Okay,
dependent on
thanks,
that.
sir. Thanks, sir.
Awesome. I think Arindam, you go next.
Yeah, hi ma'am, good afternoon. First of
Hi.
all, many congratulations for your success and all the best for your
Thank
future
you.
journey.
Thank you.
I would like to ask, like, what was the frequency between attending your interviews, like the gap between first and second interview and all, and what did you notice regarding the questions? Like, what were the weightage of asking questions in DSA or in web dev concepts?
Questions they ask from everything, right? DSA plays a major role in development. So it is also very important. And if you want to really crack a good job, you have to be really strong in DSA. So, and that matters. Then, yeah, job was, uh, I, and what was the other question?
Like, what were the frequencies between attending interviews? And how did you like really improve yourself? Like after getting rejected for 5 times, like how did you motivate yourself that yeah, this time I'm surely for sure I'm just going to crack the interview?
There were many before me who were motivating, right? That time I saw one interview where the guy attended the guy who succeeded in his 33rd interview. So I was like, I'll be at least I'll wait till 33 at least to feel for that. So the motivation was no less here. So
Yeah,
I
guys,
will,
I think we have sessions every alternate week. That way. Okay. And I guess Naviraa, like regarding the frequency bit, I think so. Uh, Naviraa, basically, I think it was like 6 interviews in total which she gave. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I'll say, Naviraa kind of like passed out in December itself. Okay. So she graduated from Sharpener in December. So, like guys, as you know, na, December is like the vacation period. Okay. So, like normally in December, like if you graduate, like normally in December we kind of get very less number of companies. Okay, in December. So like say like 15 December or 10 December around, like companies like stop hiring because like 28th, say 30th, like there's a like most of the companies are like off, right? So most of the companies which he's gotten in is in January. Okay. So frequency wise, I think so. Naviraa, you can tell it better. Like what was
8
it?
January, 8, 9 January, she got placed, I guess, right? I was there. You remember the date, Naviraa? Like, what was the date when you got placed?
yeah, like it is 8th January, I guess. Yeah. In 10 days I was
So,
joining.
so yeah, I remember like 7 to 14th, I was there in Goa. So somewhere in that time only, and she got placed in the initial part of Goa. So that is how I calculated. But yeah, so yeah, but it's like, see, you have to understand that if you have the skills, right, okay, you will have that much confidence inside you that okay, you will crack the interview. Okay. If you have not done the course properly, okay, you will have that you will be low on confidence, okay, and that is the major problem over here, right? So even if you get rejected 10 times or 20 times, you will have that confidence inside you that I can still make it. But if you don't have that confidence, because if you have not done the course properly, if you have not understood the things properly, you will always feel that, okay, this is the reason why I'm not getting selected. And that will break you, right? There are people who have cracked an interview after 30 interviews, right? Okay. There are people who have cracked it. So 30 के ऊपर बहुत मुश्किल से people go, right? They end up cracking an offer before 5 to 10, like, okay, in that range only they end up cracking an interview. But the thing is, you have to understand that you have to be good enough, right? Over here now, what we are also trying to do is like we are trying to have a feedback mechanism from the HR side, right? Where the HR is telling us like what are the areas which you have messed up in, right? And we tell you to prepare on that, right? So that because at the end, let's say there are people right now who have come across and they are very poor in DSA, right? The HR tells us that this guy has not done that well, right? That means if you have like copy pasted or done something, some hack you have found out and you have moved ahead, that does not mean you will again get an offer that fast, right? Because you don't know the concept. At the end, we cannot get you that job, right? We can just get you interviews. But the cracking of that interview is totally dependent on you and your skills, right? Okay. So that is what is very important. And that confidence will be there, right? This is Naviraa. She took 6 months, but she ensured that she has done each and every part properly, right? And that is very important. So guys, I know like a lot of people would want to get there very fast, but there is no an escape route. There is no escape route to this, right? You have to give it time. Okay. There will be things which will be difficult, but you have to understand how difficult it is, right? It's just a matter of some time. It will take you, let's say, 3-4 days extra to complete it, right? And that's it. You'll end up learning it still, right? Okay. Whatever difficult thing, you will end up learning it. It's just a matter of time.
Just clarifying one thing.
So I'd like
Just one more thing, Naviraa, on what Vaibhav was saying. Like as Vaibhav said, like we started a feedback mechanism from HRs. So in that we get two very distinct kind of feedback. One is like the fundamentals are not correct, and in that case we have to push them back, ask them to repeat the course. Probably they cheated, they didn't, they just gave up, like just copy karo and let's move ahead. So that's one thing there. The second kind of feedback that we get is that they were not so confident, or their interview skills, their soft skill, like they need just a bit more practice before they can finally be recruited. So in that case, of course, there are more interviews, some mock interviews, etc., and that's when we review. So try to. It's okay if you're in the second bucket, wherein your confidence is a bit shaky, and that's what the mock interviews and practice interviews are for, and you gradually improve. But when fundamentals are not good, that is a very big red flag. Then it's not
Correct.
2-3 interviews can change your fortune. It's not even 1-2 months can change your fortune. You'll actually have to go back to your fundamentals, and that is when Naviraa was saying also that data structure is very important, because once that is sorted, you gradually, like, you get a lot of confidence ahead.
Correct.
हाँ,
And then plus over here, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि कभी like we will close the doors over here, right? Sharpener, the doors will always be open. It's just that we'll tell you to repeat that particular assignment in which you're not confident. First, we will take a mock interview on that particular aspect. We will understand whether you know that concept or not. If you don't know it, we just tell you to take some, let's say, 1 week off, right? Okay, and revise it and come, right? So once you revise it, you are also confident. We are also confident on you, right? And then again, you will start sitting for interview. You will get there. Buddy, like one thing which we will promise, right? We are putting all our hard work into this. We will promise you one thing, that it might be a delay of a week or 3-4 days in getting you that job interview, but we will end up ensuring you that you end up getting clear. Okay. That is one surety, one promise which you can take it from us, right? Okay. Job लगा के छोड़ेंगे. Okay. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Awesome. I think Tufan, Gaurav, and Kishore. Yeah, we'll go one by one. Yeah, Tufan, you can go next. Tufan. Tufan. Yeah, Gaurav, you can go next. Yeah.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. And yeah, congratulations, Naviraa, for your your very big success. For you had such a very big gap. Am I audible?
yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So Naviraa, you proved in a very big way. Like for those girls of today who are projecting this as an issue, you proved it. You proved it in a really very big way. So for me,
Thank
to congratulate, yeah, for me the first thing was to congratulate you. And one thing I wish to ask you, Naviraa, what should be the pace that we should go with the topic? Uh, there are topics from in DSA, so it's time that we are stuck in one single topic for days. So how should we go ahead with these topics? So that was the prime concern that I, yeah. Mhm.
I'll say right on your own. It is not solving that problem, but you get to learn a lot of it by solving that problem. You go through a lot of phase, you make a lot of mistake, you know many other things when you get to solve a problem. That is how I think it happens. So if you're
By the
stuck,
way, I also had a gap of 6 plus. Yeah, please go ahead.
no, you can say.
No, I was also having a gap of, and right now I'm not started in Sharpener itself, but then I was learning from other sources. Since I was also going for the government exams, all that. So I'm not completely no, but in a few 1 or 2 days, I will be into Sharpener. So I will be covering that 4,000 the benchmark that is required points. So just I was making sure that I have a very basic knowledge about the JavaScript and all those loops and all those things, but then not having such. I'm only afraid of DSA. I just see the questions of DSA, and it's how I will proceed in these things. Oh.
Yeah, I said I don't know ABC of coding. So
Yeah, that was a very
it's
big
how
motivation line for me.
yeah, it's how the program is structured, the code is structured. So I don't know how I got to know things, And I know that you will get to know things better.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Awesome. I think so. Kishore, you can go next. Yeah, Kishore.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, good afternoon. Actually, my
Good
question is, which is the toughest part which you stuck in it?
Toughest part first is arrange and next is backtracking. I
Okay,
struggle.
okay, and mhm. Okay, okay. So what I want to concentrate more in that part. Then my biggest question is. Wherever I got stuck, because basically I'm from commerce background, so wherever I got stuck, I didn't get the initial answers from mentors. So I basically I'm from Tamil Nadu, and also see that your profile
I'm
too
also
from
from
Tamil Nadu.
Tamil.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I will open the YouTube and I go for Tamil. And what is your way of clearing the doubts?
What way? I didn't get you. Sorry.
Like if you can't understand the understand the questions or you got stuck.
I'm sorry. I still didn't get you.
If you got stuck in any particular part, what is the way of clearing that?
Yeah, you can try.
Like if you,
What
okay,
ma'am?
there's a voice break, I guess. So Naviraa is asking like if you get stuck, right, like in a question, right, and if you're not able to understand it, like what was your approach and what like he just wants to know, like how can he
Okay, okay. I got
try?
it. Yeah. Keep trying different logics. One logic might not work, and it will definitely teach you something else. And go to the next logic. So you will keep building logics for a particular problem. I'll never recommend to go watch the answer immediately. Just take at least a day if you can't solve a problem. But and then you'll surely get it some other way when you try. One logic will hit that will give you the answer.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, I think so, guys. Manish is going to be the last, so we're going to take four more questions, and that's about it. Bhushan, you can go next. Bhushan.
Yes, sir. My question is, what kind of case questions were asked in your interview? Like, do you
What
remember some
kind of
topics?
DSA topics?
Yes, yes.
DSA topics like still I felt like most of the questions were till linked list we had for front end. So
Okay.
But yeah, guys, I think so. She has a very small data set, I'll say. So it depends upon the mode of the interviewer. Okay. So yesterday there was one company called Buy Hutke, so they asked trees also. So it all depends upon the mood a little bit, I'll say. Uh, uh, like normally people ask between arrays, stacks and queues and all itself. Sometimes linked list. Okay. Trees so very rarely, very rarely, I'll say. But yeah, it kind of depends upon the mood of the interviewer. Okay. And yeah, like they can ask you anything. So the essay, yeah, be prepared, I'll say.
Okay, sir. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure. Shreya, what about you? You can go next, Shreya.
Yes. Good afternoon, all of you. First of all, congratulations, ma'am. Ma'am, I am also preparing for front-end
Thank you.
developer. And my question is, how many questions you have solved from lead code?
How many questions I solved from lead code? Like, what apart from these, I've been working on the practice questions that Vaibhav sir sent that time. He has sent some practice questions from DSAs. So those questions I was working on.
Okay. And sometimes when I am trying to solve the question from lead code, I got like too much time. I am taking like 3 to 5 hours. So it happens with you also, like sometime.
I've taken nearly 2 days for some problems. It happens.
Okay.
It's quite normal.
And ma'am, from like for front end, like most of the question were asked from HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or like from DSA part. How many question you have asked from DSA?
From DSA, each company depends on each company and their requirement. So every company has their own sets of questions. Some give importance to HTML, some gives importance only to React.js, some give importance to all of them, some give importance to DSA. We have separate rounds for DSAs in many companies. So it happens.
Okay. And ma'am, one more question. Like only the theory question will ask in interview, or coding will also?
You'll definitely have coding.
From HTML, CSS, or JS?
Yeah, that so since I'm front end, I was asked React.js coding also, and I've seen my friends who are asked to develop some UIs.
Okay.
There are questions like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, all of you, sirs.
Sure. Thank you. Manish, you can go next, Manish.
Hi, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, but the voice is too low.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah. Hi, Manish.
My question is that I am from the non-IT background and I have the 1 year gap. So how can you justify the 1 year gap?
1 year gap is nothing, I'll say. See,
Nobody's going to ask you also, Manish.
I'll be certain. So I'm 2014 passed out and I'm placed this Jan. So you can know here skills matters, right? Any gap is the same. 1 year, 8 year, 10 years, everything.
My question is that I am completing now the Java language. So now I can shift to JavaScript or continue with Java.
You have to take JavaScript here in the
Gradually, yeah. Like I think right now when you're doing DSA, do it in Java. Okay. Like if you know Java, if you're doing it in Java, do it in Java. And then once you finished DSA, then I think once you start web development, you can do JavaScript. Yeah. Like right now, don't switch to JavaScript all of a sudden. Yeah.
After the
I thought you were
DSA program,
asking if he has to
I have
shift
to shift.
JavaScript later. I misunderstood the question.
Okay.
Awesome. I think so, guys. It was a lovely session, Naviraa. I think you motivated a lot of people, and I think so. Especially like having a kid that to 2 years old and get cracking that job, that kind of motivates. That has motivated so many of us. Thank you, Naviraa, for such a wonderful session. Yeah, I think you'll be getting bombarded on LinkedIn from our students. So yeah, please accept the connection request and yeah. And guys, we'll keep having these sessions every 2 weeks. Where I think next session also you might be seeing it's lined up. Okay, and we'll keep having sessions every 2 weeks. Okay, and whenever you feel whenever you feel demotivated or so, you can reach out to Naviraa or else you can reach out to Vaibhav or any of the mentors and we'll help you out. Okay, guys. So don't give up, keep fighting. Okay, and we'll get you a job. Okay, guys, we'll get you an amazing job. Okay. So yeah, I think amazing session. Thank you for joining, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.